okay? Today is going to be a story time video, and I'm going to be reading a story that I wrote called There's a Lion Under the Table. I've got my lion friend with me.
Don't forget me.
Bo, of course. And Harris is here too. So here we go. Are you ready? There's a lion under the table. Don't be silly, Harris, said Mum. Harris looked again. There is, he said. There's a lion under the table. Harris, just eat your tea, please, Mum sighed, pushing his plate closer to him. Harris peered under the table. There definitely was a lion under there. He blinked really hard to make sure. A huge, furry face, surrounded by a shaggy brown mane, was resting on massive paws just by Harris's feet. Mum knocked her glass on the table. The lion opened one eye and looked straight at Harris. Harris jumped. Harris, Mum shouted. Harris jumped again. Sit up and eat your peas. Harris stared at his plate. He could feel the lion's wet nose on his knee. He shivered. Slowly he peered under the table again. The lion was staring straight at him, licking his lips. Harris gulped. This lion is going to eat me up, he thought. He looked back at his plate and an idea popped into his head. He grabbed his spoon and scooped up as many peas as he could onto it. When Mum wasn't looking, he tossed the peas under the table. They flew straight into the lion's face, bounced off his soft fur and ping-ponged their way onto the floor. Slowly, the lion turned to sniff one that had landed by his paw. Silently, he turned back to stare at Harris. Don't forget your mash, said Mum. Just then the phone rang. Mum went to answer it. Quickly, Harris picked up his plate of mashed potatoes and fish fingers and slid it under the table, trying his best not to annoy the lion any more. Harris watched as the lion sniffed the rest of his dinner. The lion growled menacingly as he turned back to Harris and narrowed his eyes. Harris gulped. He doesn't like fish fingers, he thought. He doesn't like mash and he doesn't like peas. What was he going to do? Just then, Mum came back into the kitchen. Well done, Harris, she exclaimed, seeing all his food gone. Now you can have pudding. Pudding, thought Harris. That's my last chance. Mum put a bowl of ice cream in front of him. Harris drooled. He loved ice cream. And there were 3 scoops tonight. Strawberry, vanilla and chocolate. Harris looked longingly at the delicious ice cream in front of him. Then he felt the lion's hot, wet tongue lick his knee and his blood ran cold. He looked at his mum. She'd just started washing up. As quick as a flash, Harris picked up the bowl and put it under the table next to the lion. His heart was beating so hard he thought it might explode. He watched. The lion bent down and sniffed at the bowl. Slowly, he started to lick the ice cream with his big pink tongue. Phew! Harris exhaled, sitting up. What was that for? Asked Mum, coming over to the table. The lion likes ice cream, Harris smiled. You're not still making up silly stories, are you, Harris? Mum sighed. No, the lion's eating my ice cream, Harris explained. He didn't like the mash, or the fish fingers, or the peas, but he likes the ice cream. Look! Harris looked back under the table, just as the lion licked the last of the ice cream from the bowl. Mum rolled her eyes and lifted the tablecloth. That's the end of my story. There's a lion under the table. How on earth did a lion get under the table? And what's going to happen now? What are they going to do? How are they going to get this lion out of the house? So many questions. What do you think is going to happen? You can maybe make up a story about how Harris and his mum tried to get the lion out of the house, or who they're going to call to help them.
They pick up the lion with a fish net.
That's a good option. There's Harris's ending to the story. I'd love to hear your endings and how Harris and his mum get rid of the lion. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed the pictures too. We'll see you again very soon. Stay safe, stay well. Take care. Bye.